Joyce has a question about soils. When Geoff says the garden should be about 40% humus, how are we defining humus? What are we looking at to compare that 40% to? In a pot or raised garden box, the volume is defined, but in most of the systems on Zaytuna Farm, we're working directly on the ground. How deep are we measuring for this metric? Well, this is the kitchen garden, and we've added a lot of organic matter here. We've added a lot of mulch, compost, worm castings, we've had cover crops, and we've added a lot of compost tea and worm juice that have organisms that are beneficial for the soil. So when we look at this soil, it's dark. It was a grey sand. It's a sandy loam, the soil in this area, but the garden has increased in organic matter until it's almost charcoal colour. It's full of earthworms, and it's got a crumb structure. So if I break it apart carefully, it all breaks into little crumbs. So it's sticky. And that dark colour and that texture is created by the amount of organic matter in the topsoil. So this topsoil's about 2 foot deep. And it's probably getting deeper all the time. There are earthworms here. Anywhere I put my hand in the soil, I'll find earthworms. But I'm gauging that on say a spade's depth. The area that the depth that we dig at, I've just loosened that bit of soil here with a spade. It's pretty loose soil anyway. I can push the spade right to the depth of the tool. So at least that depth, but it's probably going deeper in this case because this has been very well fed with high quality organic matter. So the root depth of the plants that we're growing in the garden is usually the metric you're after. That's where it's important. You would find that the humus is higher at the surface and then a little bit less as we go down, and you probably find there's less humus at the 2 foot depth before the soil profile changes to the subsoil. But if you averaged it out, I think you'd have at least 40%, probably all the way to the bottom. We're looking at the root depth of the plants in relation to the system we're growing in. And in this case, that's a kitchen garden, a diverse kitchen garden. And that's pretty good looking soil, no matter where you are, but it started off as grey sand. And it just gets better all the time in quality, and it increases in quantity because we're still adding material.